Sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut.
This is your coffee break on the HAN Network.
It's Tuesday, September 29th, and this is your coffee break on the HAN Network. I'm Kate Chaplinsky with today's news, including the latest on a homicide in Shelton, a New York man arrested after using the internet to get a Wilton girl to meet with him, and Trumbull police looking for a suspect who called in a fake threat, putting schools there into lockdown. We're also going to be talking CPR during our health buzz with Griffin Hospital, learning the proper way to administer that life-saving technique. And finally, later in the hour, we'll be talking about this weekend's Concours de Caffeine car event in Westport. Rob Adams will also give us a look at high school sports, and Donald Ang will take a look back in history. But first, on to the news this morning. The husband of a Shelton woman found shot dead in her Hickory Lane home on Sunday night has been arrested and charged with her murder. The husband, 53-year-old Thomas Infante, turned himself into police around noon Monday, according to Detective Richard Bango, and is being held behind bars on a $500,000 bond. He was being transported earlier this morning to Derby Superior Court to be arraigned. Detective Bango said that during the investigation, it was revealed that Lisa and Thomas Infante were going through a divorce. On the evening of Saturday, September 27th, Thomas and Lisa were engaged in an argument, police said. During the argument, Thomas Infante shot and killed his wife, Lisa Infante, his wife of 27 years. Thomas Infante fled immediately after the shooting, police said, but turned himself in on Monday. Before his arrest, Infante was last seen driving a red 1995 Chevrolet Blazer, and Bango said Lisa Infante, who's 52 years old, was found in the home at around 9:30 Sunday. The couple had 4 children, 2 of which still lived at home, according to police. It's unclear if either were home Sunday evening when the murder occurred. The State Police Major Crime Division is actively investigating and assisting Shelton police. Lisa Infante worked for Echo Hose Fire and Ambulance Company in Shelton. A portrait of Infante was placed before a growing mound of flowers at the front of the ambulance bay door. Echo Hose Hook and Ladder also paid tribute on Facebook to Lisa Infante. She served the community for nearly 10 years as a volunteer. They posted on their page, Echo Hose Hook and Ladder stands with area emergency service personnel in mourning the loss of Lisa Infante and would like to extend our thoughts to her friends and family, as well as her colleagues at Echo Hose Ambulance and everyone involved in emergency medical services. Thank you for your dedicated service to our community, they said. Well, in other news this morning, a New York man has been arrested after attempting to convince a teenage Wilton girl to meet and have sex with him. On September 24th, around 11:30 in the morning, John V. Hurley III, who's 28 years old and lives in Highland Falls, New York, was arrested on 2 counts of impairing the morals of a child and 1 count of enticement of a minor by computer for sex after surrendering to a warrant issued by the Wilton police. According to a press release from the Wilton Department, Hurley had been communicating with several 15-year-old Wilton girls and had sent them pornographic photos of himself, requesting they send him similar pictures of themselves. Police said he conversed with many girls over the course of June and July, and his conversations were sexual in nature. Hurley is also alleged to have attempted to entice one girl to meet him for the purpose of sex. Hurley was released from the Wilton Police Department headquarters after posting a $25,000 bond and is scheduled to appear at Norwalk Superior Court on October 5th. The Trumbull Police Department wants help identifying a female caller who reported a gunman in the area of Trumbull High School around 10:30 a.m. Friday, September 25th, causing 3 of the district schools to be placed in modified lockdown for 30 minutes. According to a press release, police dispatch received an emergency call from an unknown female caller who said that there was a male wearing a hooded sweatshirt carrying a long gun near the school's property on Strobel Road. The police said the caller was disconnected before any additional information was given. In addition to Trumbull High, Hillcrest Middle School and Daniels Farm Elementary School were placed in a temporary lockdown as police checked the area. But according to Lieutenant Leonard Cinto, nothing was found and the schools resumed normal activities. authorities. The release noted that this was the second type of hoax call they had received that week. On Tuesday, September 22nd, police responded to the Home Depot on Monroe Turnpike in response to a female caller who reported there was a man with a gun outside the business. Nothing was found in that case either, Lieutenant Cinto said. He added that the caller in each case appears to be the same person. That has not been confirmed. The police have not identified any persons of interest in either case as of yesterday morning. Lieutenant Cinto warned that the hoax calls put the public and police in danger. Trumbull police are asking for the public's help in identifying the female caller. Anyone with information is asked to call the department at 203-261-3665. In Fairfield, the head custodian at Mill Hill Elementary School faces several drug charges after his arrest Monday at the school. The Fairfield Citizen reports that 48-year-old Anthony Piccolo of Fairfield was charged with possession of a controlled substance, illegal possession near a school, possession of marijuana, and possession of drug paraphernalia. Mill Hill Principal Kevin Chase sent a letter home to parents Monday informing them of the arrest. During the investigation, officers seized a small amount of marijuana, 2 small containers which contained a controlled substance, and drug paraphernalia from a car in the school's parking lot. In a letter to parents, Chase said he received a report regarding Piccolo earlier Monday and called the Central Office Administration and police to determine the appropriate action. Piccolo was immediately suspended from employment at the school indefinitely and will not be allowed to access any school district properties. According to Chase, I can't stress enough that the children's safety remained a top priority and foremost on my mind. He went on to say, furthermore, this arrest has nothing to do with children at our school in any way. He said our school remains a safe and secure building and place of learning. Piccolo was released on a written promise to appear October 7th at Superior Court in Bridgeport. Well, in Milford, a man has been arrested and charged with stealing more than $20,000 worth of jewelry and other property from relatives. The Milford Police Department investigated a complaint on August 31st that then led to the arrest of Camille Zawiska, 29, of 31 Cindy Circle in Milford. Police said Zawiska is accused of stealing more than $20,000 worth of jewelry and other items from family members over the course of 2 months. Some of the stolen property was recovered from area pawn shops. The investigation resulted in an arrest warrant being issued for him for larceny in the first degree. Zawiska was also arrested after he was confronted on September 10th by an observant neighbor while he was in the process of allegedly burglarizing a detached garage of a family member's home. Police say he's also a suspect in several other crimes within the Milford area, and more arrests are expected soon, police said. Well, in Stratford, a driver there crashed his pickup truck through a Nichols Avenue home on Monday afternoon. Stratford police said a silver pickup truck went through the house at 2483 Nichols Avenue at about 4:30 p.m. The vehicle entered through the garage into the living room and dining room and out the back of the house, Fire Marshal Brian Lampart said. Police said the driver, who was the only one in the truck, was taken to the hospital for treatment of minor injuries. Police did not have information on the driver or how the wreck occurred on Monday evening. The home was vacant at the time. Prior to the accident, Lampart said 3 of the 4 occupants went to a local store to return a rented movie and returned to find out that the home had been badly damaged. The home was condemned by the town's building official. Well, State Representative Kim Rose, who represents Milford, is urging residents there to attend and submit written testimony at this week's public hearing that will be held by the State Department of Energy and Environmental Protection to discuss improvement plans for Silver Sand State Park. An informational meeting was held last week to discuss planned park improvements. More than 300 residents attended that meeting. This week's meeting, according to Rose and Mayor Ben Blake, is just as important as the earlier one. This week's is a public hearing regarding a tidal wetlands permit at the park. It's scheduled for Thursday, October 1st at 6:30 p.m. at Milford City Hall. Residents interested in submitting written testimony may do so by emailing their statements to deep.educations@ct.gov, or they can send it to DEP offices. All the information on that is at milfordmirror.com. According to Representative Rose, the public expressed an enormous amount of concerns during last week's informational meeting. There's still many questions that are yet to be addressed. She said, I am glad we are involved in these conversations and commend my constituents for their diligence. Well, in Ridgefield, after an extensive search, the Chamber of Commerce there has announced the appointment of Jennifer Zinzi to the role of Executive Director starting October 1st. In her role as Executive Director, Zinzi will continue to promote Ridgefield business through networking, events, and key partnerships. Ridgefield Chamber Board Chair-elect Christy Kinsman, who headed the hiring committee, said, quote, "We had many qualified professionals apply for the position. The hiring committee was looking for someone with not only an exceptional business background, but who also really understands how special Ridgefield is." Zinzi spent more than 2 decades in the banking industry, managing the Ridgefield offices of the former Wachovia Bank, which is now Wells Fargo, as well as Union Savings Bank. While working in Ridgefield, Zinzi was involved with many organizations, including ROAR, Founders Hall, and RVNA. She was also a member of the Chamber Board of Directors. Well, it's about time to throw it over to Rob Adams, who's going to give us a look at today's weather. Rob?
Absolutely. Good morning, Kate. Thanks, everyone. Hi there. A chance of showers today with thunderstorms also possible afternoon. We've got a cloudy day with a high near 77 with a south wind from 6 to 9, 40% chance of rain, so it looks like we might get it. A chance of showers and thunderstorms before 9 tonight, then showers likely, possibly a thunderstorm between 9 and 11, showers after 11. Low around 67. The wind will top out around 8 miles per hour from the southeast, but that chance of precipitation is 100%. I know the downside is it's raining. The upside is we need it. Looks like we're going to get 3/4 of an inch, or maybe even an inch possible. Showers for Wednesday, high near 71. Southeast wind from 9 to 13, becoming northwest in the afternoon. Again, a complete 100% chance of rain. Looking like about another inch of rain will fall. Showers likely into Wednesday night with a low around 53 and a breezy night. Northeast wind 20 to 22 miles per hour. And again, about a half inch of rain. So we're going to get hit pretty hard. Thursday, more of a chance of showers. Cloudy, high 56. Low 51 for Thursday night as we get a little chillier. 58 on Friday with rain likely. We don't like the sound of that for those of us heading to Staples High School for football and likely going to be outside. Low 51 with another 60% chance of rain on Friday night. I don't have better news for the weekend, folks. I'm trying to find you some kind of a silver lining here. Just more of the same on Saturday, Sunday, and then partly sunny as we go back to work next week. I'm sorry. Best I can do. 75 in Darien, 74 in Ridgefield. Shelton has 73, Kate.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Well, we're going to take a break. When we come back, Rob has an update on high school sports. Donald Dang has a look back in history. And as I mentioned earlier, we're going to be talking with some folks from Griffin Hospital about the proper way to administer CPR. So that and a lot more is coming up on your coffee break after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, DocShop.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Highcote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Highcote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Highcote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation landmark. Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Tired of all the bull? Relax and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
And we're back with this Tuesday edition of your Coffee Break. I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and I'm going to throw it over to Rob Adams right now for a look at high school sports. Rob?
All right, Kate, good morning, everyone, and let's indeed take a look back at what went on in the world of sports yesterday. And we start with some of the goodies that took place, in fact, just down the road at where were we? We were at Wilton High School yesterday. That's right. Geez, this is a traveling road show here, so it's like pulling all the pieces together. But a 1-0 field hockey game yesterday in favor of the hometown Wilton Warriors, so they stay undefeated, knocking off the Staples Wreckers. The Wreckers have a tie and a loss now, so definitely good times for them in the FCX. Some other scores from yesterday. Greenwich got a 2-1 victory in boys soccer. Staying in boys soccer, it was Norwalk over New Canaan 2-0. Field hockey, Stamford over West Hill 2-1. From volleyball, it was Trumbull over Ward 3-2. More boys soccer for you. Staples over West Hill 4-0. Ludlow beat St. Joe's 3-2 in volleyball. More field hockey, it was New Canaan 6, Danbury 2. Stamford over Norwalk 3-0 in volleyball. So we take a look at today's schedule, and we've got some stuff on it, including where we will be. You've got Central at Ludlow and girls soccer, Danbury and Stamford, Staples home for West Hill, Ward is at Darien, Wilton is at Ridgefield, Greenwich at Trumbull, Norwalk at New Canaan, Trumbull is at Ward in field hockey, and guess what? That's where we'll be today. 4 o'clock, we'll be on the air just before 4. Field hockey again, Fairfield, Ward, and Trumbull. Darien is at Norwalk as well. That's a 7:15 start. From cross country, it's Norwalk, Darien, and Trumbull at Wilton, West Hill, Greenwich, McMahon at St. Joe's, Trinity Catholic, Staples, Ward, Ludlow at New Canaan, feeling like it's alphabet soup, and Ridgefield and Central, and Stamford at Danbury, swimming and diving, Greenwich at New Canaan. And one more thing I want to throw out at you. You've got the Athlete of the Week nominations. Who are they? Shelby Grant of Darien football, Drew Fowler of Ridgefield, Marquise Woods of Trumbull, Christian Treves of St. Joe's, Troy Duncan from Stamford, and Andrew Speed from Staples. Holly Rivers from Danbury Field Hockey on the girls' side, with Hannah Froelich of Norwalk Girls Soccer, Katie Elders of Darien Field Hockey, Isabel Taylor from Darien Volleyball, Sydney Adams of Trumbull Girls Volleyball, Emily Dardist from Trinity Catholic Volleyball, Natalie Bennett from Wilton Volleyball, and Ellie Smith from Trinity Catholic Volleyball. You can vote on all of that, of course, online at fcac.net. Good luck to all the nominees. And with sports, I'm Rob Adams. Kate, let's throw it back over to you.
All right. Thanks, Rob. Well, it's actually time to take a look back on this day in history. Donald Ang has that for us right now.
A dramatic introduction for a motoring icon, and it happened on this date. But first, 1907. The cornerstone laid at the Episcopal Cathedral Church of St. Peter and St. Paul in the city and diocese of Washington, better known as Washington National Cathedral. 20,000 people, including President Theodore Roosevelt, attended the groundbreaking. Funding for construction came entirely through private sources, which slowed the pace of the project dramatically. More on that in a moment. 1982. The Chicago Tylenol murders begin when the first of 7 people dies in metropolitan Chicago from ingesting tainted Tylenol caplets. If you're below a certain age, you can't imagine the fear that gripped the country. 1990, construction of Washington National Cathedral is completed with the installation of the final filial. Decorative work is ongoing. The cathedral is the second largest in the country, and with average Sunday service attendance of 1,600, it is the most well-attended Episcopal parish in the United States. Architectural features include a Gitmo building block installed in 1964, stained glass commemorating the moon landing and the lives of Stonewall Jackson, Andrew Carnegie, and Robert E. Lee, and, believe it or not, a gargoyle shaped like Darth Vader. And finally, 1966, there was this.
Alive. Camaro, fiery new creation from Chevrolet. Camaro, the new car that's something else.
The unofficial beginning of the pony car war is in 1966 when Chevrolet, quite dramatically, introduces the Camaro. The name is derived from the French word camarade and was intended to suggest that a car could be a personal friend to its owner, although the legend is when asked what a Camaro is, the Chevrolet marketing team answered, a small, vicious animal that eats Mustangs. That's your look back in history, and I'm Donald Ng.
All right. Well, now we're back with your coffee break, and I'm excited to welcome some guests from Griffin Hospital. Dawn Barrett, who is the director of the Griffin Hospital Community Outreach and Parish Nursing, and Kathy Kellett, who is the Griffin Hospital CPR Training Center Coordinator. Ladies, welcome. We're so excited to have you here. Just want to talk a little bit about the CPR Training Center. Can you tell us a little bit about how that got started, Dawn?
First, I'd like to thank you for inviting us here, since we're, as parish nurses, very passionate about training in CPR. It was about 1997, and there was a group of us who wanted to train our parishioners in CPR, so we called to find a program that could come in. It was cost prohibitive. They were charging $65, $55 a person. So 5 of us got together and said, we'll become instructors. And the rest, they say, is history. We went on to become instructors with the support of three very good churches: Assumption in Ansonia, First Baptist Church in Seymour, and then the Seymour United Methodist Church. All supported us and sponsored us to take the training and paid for all our mannequins and stuff we needed. So then we began training the churches by training the churches. Now we have progressed to over 50. We progressed from being just training under St. Rayfield's to our own training center. And that only took a few years because we were training so many people. But now we have some 50 instructors, and they are community volunteers that help in the community train. We train over 4,000 people a year. So, and, that's a lot of training, but we're very passionate about it. We train in things like friends and family, which Kathy will be demonstrating, which is for the layperson. And it can be a hands only, or it can be, you can learn the breathing techniques. We also do basic life support. We do, one of our big ones is the CPR AED training that we do. And that's where everybody has an AED, which we oversee now at this point, 89 AEDs in our community.
Wow.
So we do have a lot in the community.
Now, Kathy, let me ask you. We have Kathy set up ready with the dummy. She's going to demonstrate. She's going to demonstrate for us in a bit. But Kathy, I mean, I've been hearing a lot now about hands-only CPR and how this is something much easier that people can learn and not feel intimidated about, you know, the breathing and mouth-to-mouth contact. Can you tell us a little bit about it?
That's correct. Most cardiac arrest happens in your family, out of the hospital, with your friends, your coworkers. So the big push was compressions work. We need to pump that oxygen-rich blood around, keep them alive until advanced care can get there, EMS. So the American Heart Association back in 2010 designed the Family and Friends course, where it was basically recognize there's a problem, send somebody to call 911, and start compressions. Remove the shirt and just hard and fast doing compressions. When you collapse, you have some oxygen still in you. So this is what you're going to pump around, and it'll buy you enough time till that advanced care gets there.
Right.
It takes the fear out of people saying, oh, you know, I can't put my mouth, I can't do mouth to mouth. Well, you know what? In the first few minutes, you can just do compressions, and that's what's going to save people's lives.
Right. And now, Dawn, let me ask you, I mean, you know, there's something, if you're ever in that situation with a family member in an emergency like that, cardiac arrest, you can feel so helpless. And really kind of having this knowledge is power. It really is.
It is. And the nice part is a lot of times we panic and you forget everything. But when you call 911, the dispatchers have their little book in front of them, and they will ask you, do you know CPR? And we had this happen where we heard the story, one story, the woman said, I learned CPR, but I don't remember it. He says, okay, let's start. And the minute he started, she remembered. And she did it, and she saved her husband's life.
Wow.
So, you know, the dispatchers are critical, and it really is. It's so simple. Once you learn, we are the only hope that somebody has when they collapse. So, like I said, we feel passionate about everybody knowing CPR.
Yeah. And I know you guys offer this training regularly. You do it how often? Once a month or so?
Yes, we do it once a month. It's
we offer the second Saturday of every month free, non-certifying family and friends CPR training. We also offer the certifying training companies and folks that need it, but we really are pushing this free training, and we do it for scout groups and kids in schools and anybody that wants to learn.
And we train the Boys and Girls Clubs. We train, you know, all for free because we feel this is very important for people. But I think the Saturday one, what we want to stress is it's free. It's the second Saturday of every month. They need to call, and I hope we'll have a number up there, Kathy, to register, because we need to know the number of people being trained so we can have enough instructors.
Right. And let me just give the number now for anyone watching. So you can register for that by calling 203-732-1337 to sign up or just get more information, because space is limited since it is a free program, which is such a great offering in the community. And I mean, heart disease and those issues are a growing problem that we're seeing. I mean, it's a major medical issue, right?
The heart disease is, but I think that the fact that learning CPR and what we did a major push a few years back, training 6th and 7th graders with the CPR Anytime. When you look at heart disease, we have about 100 out-of-hospital cardiac arrests a year that go to Griffin. They may go someplace else. And out of that, we were seeing a survival rate of about 4 to 6%. When we did this 4-year push, it actually rose to almost 45% survival rate because people were initiating CPR. So yes, heart disease is on the rise. Hopefully through education, we can stem a little bit of that, especially with our youth, which Kathy does a lot of programs with the youth on wellness and exercise and diet. So
now, Kathy, what are you going to demonstrate for us?
If somebody collapses and you come upon the scene, we want to recognize scene is safe. We're going to tap and shout, try and check for responsiveness. Are they breathing? Can we wake them up? If not, send somebody, if they're around you in the blue, go call 911, go grab an AED if there's one. Lift the shirt, and then we're going to go through how to do compressions, We do 30 compressions. If you have a barrier device, you would pause and do your 2 breaths, the ventilations. If you didn't, you get to 30 and you just keep going. You just keep doing hard and fast compressions until someone else arrives to help you out.
Great. All right. Can you demonstrate that for us, the compressions? Awesome.
Okay, so we come upon our victim, making sure our scene is safe. Tap and shout, hey, are you okay? Are you okay? Is there any breathing? No, you in the blue, go call 911. Grab an AED. Lift the shirt so we can get as close contact to the skin. Find the center of the breastbone, out or below, and we're going to compress down. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30. I have my barrier device. I'm going to give 2 breaths. And we're going to go back to 30. And we're just going to keep doing this until, like I said, that help arrives.
And I know people are often scared, especially on an elderly person, of perhaps cracking a rib or something like that. Can you talk a little bit about that and how it's just important to keep the compressions going? Dawn, do you want to discuss that?
Yeah, I'll answer that. What we tell people when we train them is the person is basically dead. So a cracked rib is not going to make a difference. What you want to do is you want to keep that oxygen going. The cracked rib will heal.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Or any other complications. But if you don't do it, it doesn't matter. You know.
And I know a lot of, I've seen at least in Trumbull and some other local EMS have been trying to get those machines that actually do the compressions for them, which I know is a great tool, but also expensive.
Right.
And I mean, even these training dummies, I know you guys need support in order to, get those. Yeah. Is there any way that people can kind of support you guys or get involved?
I think the biggest support we need is people getting trained. We do have an initiative. It's called CPR Anytime, and that was the initiative we did in the schools. And the CPR Anytime kits we got them through grants, and they were phenomenal. The kids could take them home after they were trained, and it was a take-home kit where they trained 3 or 4 other people. So we trained thousands of people just with one kit, and they're very expensive. So that would be a way to help, and we were hoping for maybe some corporate or company support with that with the schools.
Right.
To go into the schools.
Right, and I know getting more AEDs out and around the community is important. Kathy, do you want to speak to that at all?
Sure. We had found doing CPR is great. It's saving lives. Adding that fast AED is saving even more lives. Very simple to use. Turn it on, open it up. They start to talk to you right away. Remove all clothing from patients. If you forgot to take the shirt off, it just reminded you. You look at the pictures. If you're not sure, they show you exactly where they go. Pull red handle to open bag. Look at pictures on. As soon as they sense they're in the right spot, everybody clear. It's going to analyze. Everybody clear. Preparing for shock. Everyone clear. Press flat. Everybody clear. Hit the button. Body jolts a little bit. It didn't work, so it tells you right away. Go right back to CPR, leaving the pads in place. It's now going to time you for 2 minutes, so you just have to keep track of compressions, breath, compressions, breath. At the end of 2 minutes, the machine's going to say stop. Analyzing, see if we got the person back, if it needs to give another shock. Very, very simple to use. They're out there. We're heart-safe communities. That means there's public access defibrillators in all of our nonprofits, town halls, schools, Boys and Girls Clubs,
churches.
Libraries, churches. Our churches bought into these. We got a phenomenal grant from the American Heart Association to place our original, 50 some odd ones. The community buys into it. We're seeing survival rates go through the roof. We want to see them go even higher.
And that's just incredible. And ladies, like we said, if this happens to you, it's a high stress situation, but having that training and taking advantage of those free training sessions can just give you that peace of mind.
one of the things, the critical things with the American Heart years ago decided that, remember how you used to always have to check for a pulse, check to see if they were breathing and everything? They found that 50% of the time lay people found a pulse when there wasn't, and the other 50% of the time they didn't find a pulse when there was one. So they bypass that. If you don't see any movement, if you can't get somebody to respond, you start the chest compressions. You cannot hurt them by starting chest compressions, even if they have a heartbeat. Okay? So.
Now, Kathy and Dawn, so for people, again, that want to get information about this, griffinhealth.org is probably a good source, good way.
Yep, and our phone number and email to contact the training center is on griffinhealth.org.
Great. Great. Thank you so much, ladies, for coming in and talking about this. It's a really important health topic, and we're grateful.
Well, thank you for having us. We feel very passionate about it, too.
Right.
Thank
you so much, ladies. All right, well, we're going to take a quick break, and we'll be back with a lot more after this.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express, open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
Highcote Rockefeller Estate is Westchester County's top cultural attraction and is now open for the season. Don't miss out. Go online to hudsonvalley.org to plan your visit. Take a drive out to beautiful Sleepy Hollow, New York, and enjoy Highcote's stunning architecture, breathtaking gardens, expansive art galleries, and commanding Hudson River views. From world-class art by Picasso and Warhol to expertly tended gardens, there's something for everyone. Highcote Rockefeller Estate, a National Trust for Historic Preservation Landmark. Back to school means back to busy, and Stewart's Market can save you precious time by stocking all of your favorite essentials under one roof. For a healthy start to school, we have all the ingredients. Walter Stewart's, your family-owned fresh local market, 229 Elm Street and at stewartsmarket.com.
Tired of all the bull? relax, and enjoy the experience of buying a car at Pamby Chrysler Jeep Dodge and Ram. No bull allowed.
Have no fear. HAN Network's Fast Frights movie contest is here. Can your film make the cut? Submit your 3-minute scary movie today for a chance to win a DJI Phantom 3 drone, sponsored by Milford Photo. The only thing to fear is missing the deadline.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
And we're back with this Tuesday edition of Your Coffee Break. I'm Kate Chaplinsky, and we're talking now about an event where we're going to be this Sunday, and we're pretty excited about it. Concours de Caffeine, our HAN cruiser's going to be heading down to the beautiful Saugatuck area this weekend for that. And I'm joined now by Frank Taylor and John Shuck of Concours. Gentlemen, welcome.
Thank you.
Well, Frank, tell us a little bit about what this event's all about.
This event tries to bring together the two concepts of a Concours d'Elegance, which is a high-end car show, and the relaxed atmosphere of a cars and coffee event where car owners bring their cars to kick the tires and talk with other car owners. And we also added to it a cars and rally event where after the show is over, about 30 cars are going to take off on a 50-mile tour through lower Fairfield County, Westchester County, and stop at the Westchester County Airport to visit NetJets, and then on up to a restaurant in North Salem for lunch.
Wow, that's beautiful. Now, John, how many vehicles are we expecting to show up this Sunday?
Last time we had about 250, and on the main street of Railroad Place there, we're going to feature cars from prior to World War II. So we're going to have older cars, the kind of cars that don't get out very often, and which should be really interesting.
Yeah, and I know we have some photos from a previous event. Just beautiful. I mean, can you tell us a little bit about what we're looking at right here?
That's a Chevrolet business coupe. That's one of the cars that will be at the show. So we've got everything from cars that you would have seen on the street to cars like this one, a 1934 BSA Scout, which is actually one of the first front-wheel drive cars ever made. Wow. And that is one of the classic cars of the show. It's a 1934 Packard Phaeton touring sedan. That is just an absolutely gorgeous car, and that is the original color. It's owned by Bill King in Reading. This is a scene from last year. That's the Fitch Phoenix. It's made by John Fitch, who was a famous race car driver from Lakeville, Connecticut. And behind it is another one of his sprint cars that were made as customized Corvairs.
Now, it really is a great spot. I mean, how did you guys choose that location as where you wanted to have the event?
Well, we're actually kind of approached by the Chamber of Commerce and the local police department, who, ironically, they thought it was a real good idea to have a show right down by the railroad station so that people could come and go easily. And, it starts early Sunday morning, and we're over by 11:30.
Right. So it starts, what time can people get in, and what time does it officially kick off?
Well, the actually kicks off at about 8 o'clock, but we'll have cars arriving before then. So anytime anyone comes between 8 and 10:30, they should get a full view of all the cars that come in.
Right. And Frank, we should say this not only for car enthusiasts, they're also just beautiful vehicles to look at, even for someone that may not be an expert, right?
Oh, they are. Art of the Automobile. You see there a bunch of the Porsches that were there last year. A group of them are coming, a group of Ferrari owners. So in the cars and coffee section of the show, you'll see a lot of very interesting cars. And the Westport Police Department is bringing two of their newest vehicles. One is a 2016 Maserati, painted hot pink, for Breast Cancer Awareness Month.
Oh,
and
wow.
they'll have that there, and they'll have one of their Humvees.
Wow. And now, John, is there anything you're looking forward to in particular this Sunday?
You mean in the way of particular cars?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's one particular car I'd really like to see there. It's a Hollywood Graham. It was built in 1939, and it's got the nickname the Shark-Nosed Graham. And it's got a very unusual front end and glass-covered headlights, and only about 150 of these cars were built. So they're pretty hard to find.
Wow. And Frank, what about you?
There's assuming the weather cooperates, we've got a 1924 Templar. It's a beautiful two-seater sports car that there are only like 30 of them ever made, and there are only 2 or 3 left in existence. So it's quite an interesting set of cars we've got coming. We also have a 1924 Vauxhall Roadster, right-hand drive car that, again, most people probably have never seen out in the public.
Oh, that's incredible. And we should say you do have a website up for people that want more information about this Sunday, right? What's the website?
www.concourdecaffeine.com.
Right. And we're going to be live broadcasting from there. I know we're really looking forward to that. The HAN Network's going to be there. So you'll get a look. If you can't make it, you'll get a look at some of the beautiful cars. We'll be talking to some of the folks there. And we're really looking forward to it.
That was great having you there last year. We've got all the videos you took are up on our website. And it was quite a show.
Yeah, it should be a lot of fun. What's really neat is to see a father take his son or daughter through the field and kind of explain things about cars and how the way they used to be.
Right, and kind of sharing that love.
Yeah, it's a real educational event for the whole family.
That's great. All right, well, gentlemen, we look forward to seeing you this weekend. Thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having us, and glad you're coming to our show.
Yeah, we look forward to it. Well, we're going to take a quick break, and when we come back, we're going to wrap up this edition of your Coffee Break on the HAN Network.
When you experience a sports injury, you want to get better and fast. Coastal Ortho Express gives you direct access to orthopedic care quickly. Their physicians are fellowship trained in sports medicine at world-class universities and are also team doctors for area football teams. For specialized personal care of sports injuries, go to Coastal Ortho Express. Open Monday through Saturday in the iPark Building, 761 Main Avenue in Norwalk, or coastalorthoexpress.com. Coastal Orthopedics, keeping you on the move.
Alliance. We are an industry leader in coordinating transportation for large events such as corporate road shows, conferences, and special events. Our team of experts understands the dynamics and logistics of high-pressure situations and complex arrangements, all within a rapidly changing environment. Since 1999, we have added charter jets, event management, and personal protection to our range of services. Mention this ad for $25 off your next round-trip reservation. Alliance and you. Together, we can achieve the extraordinary. 855-546-6996 or alliancelimo.com.
While the temperatures are cooling down, the fall bite is heating up. Albies, bonita, blackfish, alligator blues, and stripers are following the large schools of bait that are abundant in the Long Island Sound. If you love the New England coast during autumn, this is the time to be on the water. The latest from Shimano, Quantum, Avet, Hoagie, Phase 2 and more are in stock and ready to go at the dock shop. And don't mind those fall breezes with jackets, hats, gloves, and fleece from Grundens and Stormer. The dock shop will keep you warm and dry. Boater, beach bum, fisherman, or simply love the New England coast, this is a unique place to shop. The dock shop, now in 2 locations, 51 Tokenique Road, Darien, 609 Riverside Avenue, Westport, or on the web, dockshop.com.
It's time to come back to hometown banking, where people are taken into account, not just balances, where community comes first, a place where there's more than one kind of interest, where automation will never replace consideration, where they not only know your name, they know your dog's name too. It's time to expect more. It's time to bank well. Bank smart. Bank local. Bank well.
And we're back with this Tuesday edition of your coffee break. Before we wrap things up, Rob, I just want to bring you on for a look at the weather, and we're hoping for good weather on Sunday when we go out to the Concours de Caffeine.
Yeah, I'll try to give you better news. It might take a little time for us to get there because it is only Tuesday, so we can keep our fingers crossed. Chance of showers today, Kate. Thunderstorms also possible afternoon. Cloudy with a high near 77 tonight. More of the same, unfortunately, and we need the rain, so we have to keep telling ourselves that the low will be 67, 71 tomorrow with 100% chance of showers, and it'll get breezier. In fact, 20 to 22 miles per hour out of the northeast by tomorrow night, and again the low around 53. To Thursday, we will be more showers, a chance of more showers, and a high near 56. More of the same Thursday night, a low 51. Rain likely Friday, 58 the high, 51 the low, 62 for Saturday with a chance of showers. You're asking about Sunday, dare you say? A chance of rain. It's 50%, high 63. Darien has 76, Ridgefield has 75, and Shelton has 74 degrees, Kate.
All right, I can deal with 50%.
I'll sign for it for now, and we'll keep our fingers crossed.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. All right. Well, that's going to do it for this Tuesday edition of your coffee break. Coming up at 12:30 is The Drive with Denise, and then, of course, Nutmeg Sports at 2. And I'll be back tomorrow at 11.
This is the HAN Network, the leader for local news, sports, arts, and entertainment in southwestern Connecticut and beyond.